Gonna make the profiles boom, 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 boom. What they is, I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is today on Gunner's Profiles. What it is some of the realest shit I'm ever gonna say. So tune in and turn up because we about to get with it, right? What it isn't is fakery, fake shit out of preservatives. I can't even say it. That's how weird it is, right? We just ain't gonna do that. As you can tell by that thumbnail, that's my deal right there. Old school, yes, 80s baby. You already know what it is, man. Was really getting it in. These are some of the things they don't tell you about the Nortenos, the Northern Raza, right? There's a lot of misconceptions, a lot of perceptions. People perceive them one way and don't really know what's going on. Never been laced up, never been indoctrinated, never been embraced with canalismo, never fucking have been in the know. A lot of people go, so I'm gonna Google it. Menudo style. I'm gonna Google it and find out exactly who's the hitters, who's the quitters, who's done what, who's been where. But at the same time, that tells no real story. Because in order to hear the real, you have to have had someone who was actually in the mix or someone who actually did something at one point in time to give you the game. ¿Sabes qué? Ding, 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 ding. Menudo. I'm right here, right? And was I some high-ranking, crazy fucking vato from the water? Nah. You know, I was a regular-ass norteño, man. Someone putting in that work, someone trying to achieve that goal, which was, of course, canalismo and the forever forward struggle, which was for the cause, right? Cause meaning to defend our lands against opposition or oppression or anybody that wanted to fucking come catch that fade or give us that smoke. We was ready for that, right? And we was taught very militant in a certain way. You know, at least I was. This is the way I was laced up by my Theo right there, who did a lot of time incarcerated, was doing life on the installment plan. When he wasn't, he was in the spoon. When he wasn't in the spoon, he was incarcerated in the spoon. Doing his thing. Shoe the spoon, right? Or spoon the shoe. Either way, he was doing his thing, and I have nothing but love and respect for him. But facts are facts, and they remain facts always, right? You can never take away from what they are. Now, here's some of the fucking top 10 things that there are. I don't even know how to do 10. Fuck it. We'll do a part 2. These are some of the top things and the misconceptions about Norteños. Number 1, which has always been a big deal to me, is as Norteños, they're looked at as what people would call them is mayateros. Okay? Basically, that's a disrespectful word for the blacks, meaning that the Mexicans are trying to be black. They're trying to act black. It's just a very unbecoming derogatory statement. It's something that I've heard time and time again and something I never really got. The reason I didn't get it is I've met a lot of Norteños from every different walk of life, just like I've met a lot of Southsiders from every different walk of life. It all depends on how you grow up, where you grow up, how you're heavily influenced. Hey, if you bump DJ Quick, NWA, if you like fucking some Sir Mix-a-Lot, if you like fucking a little bit of fucking confunction, does that make you what these people are saying? Does that mean that you're trying to act black because you got a little soul, you get a little funky? Nah. In Northern California, there are different types of Norteños, but it's all one cause. It's all one movement. It's all one group. You know, moving to that same tune and that same beat with the same agenda being total victory against oppression, social status of equality. Doesn't matter who's giving it, whether it be the Southsiders, the Bulldogs, the Crips, the Bloods, anybody, man. Norteños are going to stand firm in their beliefs. That's just how it always was. That's how it forever shall be. Now it's a little bit of a different era, a little bit different take on it, but it's still the same old damn thing. The end goal is completely the same, man, and that's to establish and plant your flag on these yards so that way there's safety and security for the people that are doing time there. Okay, it starts on the inside and leaks to the outside. What goes on in the outside is different. You have different characters making different moves, doing different things. So that's totally up to them. Of course, at some point in time, if you're out there living that vida loca, orale, Ricky Martin, if you're out there doing your thing, you will find yourself incarcerated, and it's up to the establishment that's already there or you to establish and plant your flag. Nope, don't roll it up. Don't fucking tuck your tail and hide. Go there, homes, and plant your flag the best you can. So if they take flight on you, then they take fucking flight on you. It's part of the game, right? You know what you signed up for. I've been there, done that. Now, I've always heard that word. And I never like to say the N-word. That's not a word that's in my fucking vocabulary. It's not a word that I like to say. I don't like to disrespect my Africano brothers, my black brothers, man, because I did a lot of extensive time with them. I got a lot of friends that are black. I got a lot of love for black people, right? I listen to the music. I like the culture. So I like fucking fried chicken and macaroni and cheese. I said, does that make me a bad person? No. that makes me a person who's experienced, right? I got a lot of love for people. Sprinkle in the woods, brother. We're gonna get to you guys too. I don't want you to feel left out. But I definitely got a lot of love for the brothers. So when I heard this, when I first heard this in the late 90s, it just, to me, I took it as a derogatory statement, just another way to disrespect Vatos from the North. If you really look at it from the outside looking in, if you really look at it, Norteños are based off of farmeros, calling ourselves farmeros or farmers from the North, right? At one point I say ourselves, but you know what I'm saying. I'm no longer part of that movement, but I do definitely respect it. And I definitely will always have that burning fire in my heart. And I will have that love for the people who I grew up with and the people that I fucking toiled with in the soil with for so very long, right? And that's just the way it is. Now, do I see the differences between them and the South or them in the East or the West? Charlie, man, I think everybody's the same. Everybody has an agenda, of course, of getting to that bag, and of course, taking care of their people. And that's the way it's supposed to be. You're supposed to look out for you and yours first and foremost. Period. Plain and simple. So I just gotta love that word of the day. Plain and simple, right? Bang. Now, so when I first heard that, I just took it as another derogatory statement, another demeaning word to disrespect Norteños. At no point in time are Norteños trying to act black. I've said it a long time ago. There's no way to try to act black. You're either black or you're brown or you're white, homes, or you're green or you're yellow or whatever the fuck you are or whatever you identify as. That's what you are. You're not trying to act no one. You act like yourself. I've had homeboys, man, that are from the Bay Area that act rather urbanish, right? They act like they're on the block and they grew up around a whole bunch of brothers, man. That's their flavor. That's their stilo. Are they trying to act like something they're not? Absolutely not, man. Do they say the N-word and blood and cuz? Yeah, they do. That's that Bay Area stilo. That's that Bay Area flavor. That's the way they grew up. I can't take nothing from them. Do I feel that those are the words that we should use? Absolutely not. As being a brown man, I think we should stick to our roots and our own culture first and foremost and push that. But at the same time, man, I'm not hating on them for doing it. Do I see it happening down south in Southern California? Absolutely as well. There's a lot of guys from the South that also use the N-word. There's a lot of guys that should. Nobody, and I said nobody should be using that word because it's a derogatory word and it's an ignorant word that was made up to ridicule one certain ethnicity. Okay? If not even one certain ethnicity. All ethnicities that are minorities that are not of the white pigmentation, right? And that's just what it is. If there's even any pigmentation that's white, it's clear. I can't call it. You clearly see it. Now you don't. But in a menudo style and direct fashion, I've always heard that word. And the biggest misconception is that Norteños are fucking trying to act black. No, you have Bay Area Norteños, you have Central Valle, you have Norteños from out of state. Now, no point in time are they trying to act a certain way other than being what they are, and that's brown men representing the North. Period. Now, there might be a little bit of different style depending on where you grow up. I know in Tulare County, straight suspenders, Ben Davis is, oh my, with motherfucking baby cuffs. I know as you get towards Merced, man, it gets a little bit more flavorful, right? I know as you get to the Bay Area, man, they're on their hyphy shit. That's just the makeup and the DNA of the Norte, man. I can't help it that motherfuckers are innovators and doing their thing, And down south, they do it the same way, man. The Southerners, it depends on what water or what hood. If you grew up predominantly in East LA, you're going to have that more Pachuco, Chicano flavor, that Cholo stilo. If you get more towards the Valle, yeah, you got a little bit of that too. But as you get to the outskirts of certain areas, man, motherfuckers put a little bit of flavor in their coffee, right? It's just what it is. Taster's choice. But that's a big misconception. Another misconception about Norteños, man, is that they're weak-minded or they're not up to par or they're not they don't know what time it is. Let me tell you something. The whole mentality of a Norteño is studying, being aware, making sure that you're up on point at all times, working out, taking care of your physical self, educating your mind, right? A man that takes care of his body and his mind is a real man. If you are shooting up, if you're fucking putting stuff in your fucking bloodstream, and everybody does it, there's a lot of Norteños that do it as well. But if you're doing that, Holmes, and if you're taught that it doesn't really matter, what you do, of course, man, when it push comes to shove, numbers will even out, and that's a big misconception that Norteños are of a weaker stature or that they're a more or less prominent group just because they're shorter in numbers. That has nothing to do with it. Men will be men, and men will stand their ground, and there's hitters from everywhere, and men will handle their business. That's just what it is. It's a big misconception. I hear it, and I'm like, damn. Another misconception is that Norteños and blacks are together as a group, as a whole. They rock, boom, big bitty boop, boop, boop. Charlie, I'm here to tell you at one point in time back in the 60s, early 70s, absolutely. there was a common goal there. The common goal was to eradicate any type of opposition or enemy on the yarda that posed that threat to the safety and security of oneself. But it changed somewhere along the line. It changed when people started to become younger, bolder, and colder by having the weight of the world on their shoulder. Like Pac said, people didn't see eye to eye anymore. There was no more of that old school convict code. It was more now on some inmate shit. It was more about only you and yours and your own. And somewhere along the line, the brothers and the Nortenos started to dissipate as far as that relationship. Now, I will say they still function on the same side of the yards. They're still cool with each other. There's still a lot of love and a lot of hatred between whatever's going on at that particular yard. But every yard is different. Every place is different, even on the streets, man. You know, there's a lot of North versus blacks, and it's an ugly situation because I believe all minorities should come together, black and brown unity. In the Bay Area, you're going to see a lot of the brothers and a lot of Norteños fucking with each other tough because they grew up with each other tough. In the Valley, a little bit different. Stay on your block, and I'll stay on mine. And that's just the way it always was, and that's the way it was growing up. Didn't mean that when you got incarcerated, politics didn't dictate that you had to function together. Because if they did, hey, that's just the way it went. That's just what happened, right? But this big misconception of, oh, they're together and it's the whites and the Southsiders against it. No, that's not the way it is. Maybe back in the prehistoric days, Holmes, when motherfucking Brontosaurus and Tyrannosaurus Rex were getting off with one another. But nowadays, it's not like that, man. If you're cool with the motherfucker, if you guys got a common enemy, hey, you know what I mean? The enemy of an enemy is a friend or something like that. How's it say? I don't know. It goes something like that, right? If you got an enemy and I got the same enemy, so let's jump. Let's jump, right? And that's just it. Yes, Norteños and blacks do function. Yes, there is a very big mutual respect. They've went through a lot of the same struggles with the common enemies, right? But at the same time, that doesn't mean that they rock together in every different facet on them yards or in life, man. And it doesn't mean that there's a hatred developed there, okay? Period. Now, another big misconception is that the Southsiders are racist and the Norteños are not. Let me tell you, there's racist motherfuckers from everywhere. Doesn't matter where you're from. I've met some Southerners, met some Southsiders that got black old ladies, right? I met some vatos that couldn't stand about the South. You and your fucking chick, the sopa, do it pushing, right? I've met some fucking blacks that hate Norteños and Southerners. They just don't like Mexicans, period. I've met some that like everybody, right? Depending on the person, how they were raised, the morals that are instilled in them, and the values that they come from. Everything starts from within your household. If you're taught a certain way, if you learn a certain way, if you fucking, that's all you see, more than likely, that's what you're gonna be. If the motherfuckers are in the spoon, well, guess what? You're gonna be a spoon goon. More than likely, you're gonna be on that black attack, right? And that's just how that be like. Now, people like to say, oh, Norteños get along with the blacks and the Southsiders don't. Charlie, man, let me tell you something. Politics is politics, homes. We're going to leave that alone. It is what it is. You have to go to prison to find that out for yourself, exactly who kicks it with who and why they kick it with why come and how come and shall they or shall they not, right? Or shan't or should they? But at the end of the day, you do need to understand that Norteños and Southsiders, man, there's racial ones, there's non-racial ones, there's fucking shit. I don't know what kind there is, but I do know this. That's a misconception, man, about Norteños. That's not what Northern Raza is founded on. That's not what it is, that they're non-racial, man. I've met a homeboy that says, I don't want to kick it, big old Russia. I don't want to kick it, porque, you know what I mean? I just don't like them. I was raised that way. And it didn't mean that was going to rub off on me or I felt some way because I was raised differently. See, I was raised around brothers, man. I was raised, everybody's the same, equality, social status of equality. If we're struggling for social status of equality, then we need to treat everybody with respect and treat them equal. That's what I was taught. That's how a real motherfucker gets down. I don't care what anybody says, man. You can't tell me what I already know. Period. Plain and simple. Another misconception is that, Norteños are scared to establish down south. Let me tell you something. There's no room, mister. There's no damn room. Every calle, every alley, every motherfucking field is spoken for down south, period, man. These barrios are well established. They've been around for a long time. Now, I'm not going to lie and sit here and say, oh, Norteños can just march on in there. You know what I mean? Just go handle their business. No way, Jose, period. It's not going to happen. Will there be business relationships? Could they go down there and visit, go to Disneyland and Knott's Berry Farm, get their Magic Mountain on? Absolutely, man. I go down south all the shit. You never know where I'm at. I might be down south right now. The wind's blowing, right? But I like to go down south, man. I have familia. I have friends. I have people that I fuck with real tough, man. I don't go there to disrespect. I don't go there flamed up. First of all, I'm not a Norteño, Holmes. I'm just a fucking Mexican from up north in Northern California. But I don't go down there disrespecting people, because you don't disrespect someone who's shit in their backyard. Period. That's just the way it is, right? And I'm sure there's a lot of authors from the South that go up north, man, that feel the same way. They go visit familia. They're just like, you know what I mean? And that's what it is. They're not trying to fucking get caught up in the mix. And they're trying to get back home. They don't want to miss the Dodger game. That's just what it is. But this big misconception, oh, Nortenos could never establish. Let me tell you something. You can't tell a man what he can and can't do. Now, I understand he's going to pay his dues, and there's repercussions for every action. We know this, man. And I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, Nortenos are so hard they could do whatever they want. It's not like that, man. You got to open your eyes and have some common sense. Common sense says, of course they're not going down there, man. The numbers, it's a numbers game. In life, it's a numbers game, and the numbers are very different. There's not as many Norteños as there are Southsiders, man. And that means if vatos try to go down there and establish vatos that have been around for 100 years, they're going to get the wig split, right? Doesn't mean that they won't go down there and they won't have some pride in what they are and what they claim, man. That's furthest from the truth. I've met some motherfuckers. I seen a motherfucker in Disneyland. He was getting his Norteño on. I said, damn, well, guy, I got all fired up shit. I got all fucking pumped up. But that's just the way it is. Now, another misconception is that there can never be no respect between Bulldogs, Norteños, and Southsiders. All I can say to that is one never knows, does one. That is not my business. That is not your business. That is not anybody's business until that day arrives, if it shall ever come, right? Hey, I've seen crazier things happen. You know, just because people have a past and there's a lot of blood spilled and there's, you know what I mean? There's also a thing called water under the bridge. Sometimes it's good to let it go. And the generation that we're living in now, man, they let a lot go and they are down to fucking open up, you know, those doors, man, to facilitate talks, to facilitate ferga, to get that bag. So one never knows, does one. But there's a misconception that, oh, Norteños are so structured and militant that they wouldn't be down with that, or that Bulldogs wouldn't be down, or Southerners wouldn't be down. Hey, you can't speak for grown men. Other men shouldn't speak for strange men. You don't know what's going on and what's going through their head and what benefits them at that particular point in time. Big misconception when it comes to the Northern Raza, thinking that they're definitely not down to facilitate respect, because that's what they've always been about. That's what they're founded on, is respect. Okay, another thing, big misconception about Norteños, is that they're just another fucking gang or group or organization that's out to fucking hurt their own people, hurt the Mexican race, no. That's not what they're founded on, homes. That's not what it's all about. Like I said, it's all about the safety and security of establishment. It's all about going onto them yards and not hurting people, but having it your way, man. Being able to have some equality. Being able to, can we use this bag too? Sabes, that's what it's all about. See, what a lot of people don't understand is they think gangs are all bad, but they're not, man. I'm not here to push an agenda, oh, gangbang is cool and killing people is cool. No, of course not. Hey, shit happens. You know, shit happens. Spence, that's the world we live in. You know what I mean? A motherfucking feather could fall from the Empire State Building and hit me in the head right now. So I'm scared it could crack my whole melon open. And there it goes, right? Was that gangbanging? Nope. That wasn't no well bird. That was a stork. That's it. You know what I mean? It can happen at any point in time. So there's a misconception that, you know, the Norteños, you know, it's just a lot of different things that are going on, man, that go on behind the scenes, man, that we should pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, because it's none of our business. Okay, another thing that, and this is one of the main things that I see and I hear, man, is that, you know, the Norte is done. It's a dying breed. It's dead. It's gone. It will never happen. Okay, that will never happen. It's a belief, a thought process, a goal, you know, a love for oneself. Do you understand that this is something that happened over 60 years ago, something that was established, a movement for the betterment of the Northern Raza, just like the Southern Raza has their movement for the betterment of their people, right? We're all the same, but at the end of the day, there's always going to be labels that people put on it. Will it ever die? It never shall. As long as there's a motherfucking Mexican born every day, that push is going to continue. That struggle is going to be real. There's people that have different agendas, people that just say, fuck that, Holmes, we can never get along with our opposition. People that say, you know, that's our best bet is to get along with opposition. People that say, why do we need opposition? You know what? In every fucking facet of a group, you need someone against the grain. You need a different side of the coin. It's just the way the world works, you know? There got to be good and evil. There got to be heads and tails. There got to be tafea and goddamn, she got ass. There's got to be fucking torta and skinny mini. It's just the way it is, right? So people get the misconception, hey, the Norte is dead. It's not. It might not be the same way I remember it. It might not be the same way you remember it. But it's the same damn thing, just with different characters playing different roles. That's facts. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you guys and act like I know everything, because I don't, man. I was a miniature-sized player in a big game. But one thing I can tell you, man, is I took the initiative to look at everything and get my perspective on everything before I did it. I didn't just jump in, so I'm here. What's happening? Let's kill everyone. No, I didn't do that. Okay? I made sure that I deciphered everything. That Theo that's right there, my Theo, right? That's right there on that fucking picture. He laced me up. He gave me the game. So it's because sometimes it was a little off. But he gave me the game. As you see right there, he doesn't look like he has gold teeth or cornrows and say he's not trying to act any way he isn't. He's a proud northern Mexican, or was. Rest in peace to my Theo. That's just what it is. Anyways, just wanted to give you some game. We'll do a part 2 on this. And we're also going to do the southern side. Hey, like Swift says, you know what I mean? The southern side, man, not the other side. However he feels, man, I respect it. I respect the game that he drops. And I respect the knowledge. Anyways, with that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. I hope that you get everything that you want to come to you. I hope this gave you a little bit of game, some knowledge you couldn't get in college in a menudo style. Because it's up to me to give you guys some of that clecha. You know, so that way you are prepared. So if you do get incarcerated, man, you know how to roll with your people and how to do it. You know what I mean? You don't want to go in there and say, where'd I go? Where'd I go? Not that way. You know what I mean? Bang, bang. Anyways, if you like this, hit that thumbs up. One time, give me a like and a subscribe. If not, you can hit that thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears this crown. I'm going to continue to strive and struggle for what I truly believe in, and that's the coming together and betterment of all people, because we're all the fucking same. I don't know how many times I have to say it. Woods, you're the same too, brother. I got one coming on the woods. You guys are going to love it. Bang, bang, the gun.